Okay, so I'll share my screen. So today's topic is going to be about the SAP methodologies that we will use in the greenfield implementation. So this is quite an important topic. I hope everyone can hear me right now. My voice is audible, right? Guru Raj,
Yes,
Rajkumar,
Saman.
Sandeep. Okay, fine. So today's topic is our SAP implementation methodologies. So this will be used in the implementation projects. So whenever you go into an implementation project, the basic requirement in materials management or in any of the model will be that you should be aware about the activities that data functional consultant should do at the start of the project, and these activities will be carried on for a brief period of time, like the implementation. Uh, a normal implementation that used to happen with the old SAP Activate or the Accelerate methodology was like 1 year. So it was 9 months to 1 year. But SAP came up with the Agile methodology that has shortened the time from 1 year to 6 to 9 months. So there is a time frame gap that the new implementation methodology was introduced that in the S4 HANA in the 2017 versions after uh, all the old ECC versions. So we have two methodologies, SAP Activate and SAP ASAP. So ASAP means accelerate methodology. So this was accelerated SAP. So you can, one second. Okay. So accelerated SAP means ASAP. ASAP is the recommended methodology for S4 uh, SAP ECC R3 systems. So in R3 systems, what used to happen was we had all these 5 phases. So each phase is same. So just the nomenclature is same, and only the basic architecture and the activities are different. So I'll explain ASAP first, then we'll come to Activate. So Activate is quite easy, and it is involving client at every phase. But uh, till the time till the time SAP Activated was given to the client's requirement got completely changed. So this was one drawback. That is why SAP Activate was introduced. So in R3, you have to remember this. In R3, accelerated SAP ASAP was recommended, and Activate methodology is recommended in the SAP S4 HANA system. So first, in any development life cycle, let's get to this. So in any software development life cycle, there are some phases, right? So in software development, what is software development? SDLC, software development life cycle, is a life cycle of the software that we collaborate with the team, cross module, cross functional teams will collaborate, technology upgrades will be there, the requirement will be gathered, and the systematic management of framework. Okay, so this means a proper management will be done based on agile or the Scrum Master. Okay, so Scrum is a part of Agile. So Agile methodology is used as the basic management tool or the framework that will help the software development process. So since you all know that SAP is a software, right? We are not modifying the software. So we are only modifying the software. We are not developing a software from the scratch. So SDLC is for the development of a software or the deployment of a software from scratch. So this is the basic layman term of SDLC. So in the BTech, or if you guys are from the BTech or the BSc background, you might have heard about software development lifecycle as it's a optional subject. Okay, so in this, what happens is we develop the software based on the client's requirement. The management will be there who will check the updates, the basic requirements, and a timeline, suitable timeline will be given to the client. So this is how we do in the SAP Activate. So it has 6 phases. I'll briefly explain in the next 4 5 minutes. Okay, so first we plan. So you can see we upgrade, systematic, and the framework. Just remember these key points. This is not important, but this is there's all 4 5 points are for the basic logic building. So how and why we do this is this is the answer of why. So the plan. So why, how we plan? So in this we plan the typical task that will take like cost benefits. So we give a costing a costing is given to the client that these are the efforts, the schedule will be given, how much resource will be taken for this development, and the team collects the requirements. So the requirements will be taken by the functional team or the upper management team. So they'll plan the customer's requirement. The stakeholders will be there, the experts and the architects. So experts are here in SAP, we call them solution architects, right? They will be topmost experienced people or the module leads in SAP Gold partners. They will be module leads. So they will be working under the managers, and the requirement will be taken in the separate documentation. So not much documentation, but the basic requirement is finalized that they want this features and XYZ for XYZ technology. So this is the plan. Then they have a schedule, cost estimation, what team will be there, and the goals, right? Then comes the design. So design, they will analyze the requirement. So they'll give it back to the engineers, right? Software engineers will be there. They will give it back, and the best solutions or the best practices in SAP, we call it as best practices. It will be taken care of with the SAP best practices uh, roadmap. Then we have pre-existing modules or tools or technologies that will be integrated and used. So this is a design, basic design that will do. Then after design, we have develop and implement. So we'll in this is just the implementation phase. So we'll develop, the development team will develop the code and it will implement. After the design is given, we'll develop and implement and give the final result. Then we have test. So in this we will test. So this is called the UT phase, unit testing of the system integration, SIT, system integration testing. So this will be done. Sorry, this will be done in the development system. Then comes the deploy. So deploy means you will deploy the code. This is the go live or the production deployment. So this is the deployment phase that will have the several tasks to move to the latest build copy of the production. So this only means that we will deploy our solution or the deploy our configuration to the production environment. So it will have our configuration, the custom installations, the latest SAP versions. Everything will be there in the deploy phase. Then we have maintain. So this is the maintain phase. In this will be basic for every software. It will be the basic. We'll go and maintain. So after deployment, when the team fixes bugs, after the development is done, maintenance is always there. So this is the basic SDLC, software development lifecycle, that we will follow. Okay, and then coming back to our SAP Activate. So we have 5 phases here. In the SAP, we only have 5 phases. So in interviews, they will ask, so when you have 3 years of experience, this is the most common questions that the interviewer asks. So first question will be in an interview that, have you worked in an implementation project? So when you say yes, they will ask, have you worked in ASAP or Activate? So if you say both, or if you say Activate or ASAP, then they'll ask the difference. They'll ask, definitely they've asked the difference. I have given 5 interviews as of now, and in 2, the Deloitte and the EY, they have asked the difference between. So Big 4 will always ask, right? So they have asked the difference between ASAP and Activate. So I'll explain the ASAP first. So in ASAP, we have initial project preparations, right? So initial project preparations that I have explained is the planning. And the planning phase, what we do, we'll take the basic requirements. So what version of the software is needed? So what are the basic requirements? Then we'll sit with the client. This is the requirement. So then we'll sit with the client. We'll understand the business. We'll ask what are the requirements. As much as questions we can ask, we'll ask the client. So this is the requirement. Then we'll develop what is developed. So we'll do it as a realization phase. Means we'll have the understanding of the system. There will be some technical people, or they'll be having in-house SAP team, right? A core team will be there. In-house SAP consultant means the consultant that are on the business side, but they're SAP certified, or they might be having a little knowledge about SAP, how SAP implementation is done, or they'll have some experience in SAP, but they'll have a proper perspective of the business. Then come the deploy. Deploy means we'll do the final preparation, and we'll check all the system readiness, that is our logic or is the code complete to be deployed in the live environment. Then on the go live, so go live will be when the client will run the transition on the production environment. So go live, this go live is the last part, and in that part, the both the teams, the client and your team, will have a great announcement that we are going live. So there will be a news bulletin, or there will be a dashboard where you have to where the client will publish like we are going live, or on this date we went live on the SAP ERP. So this is a big deal. SAP is a big software, and companies take it as a big deal. Okay, so we'll go to the SAP Activate, what I've explained right now. So all these phases will have this SAP Accelerate. We are working. Okay. So first is the initial phase. So initial preparation. Initial preparation will include the things about the basic requirements of the customer. So they want ERP. How much cost estimation will be there? What will be a timeline? So we'll define the timelines. So timelines will be, let me write it. Timeline. Okay. Cost estimate. Then comes our basic requirement. Basic requirement means the infra, right? Basic requirement of infra and manpower. So this will be like, you have heard about SAP on premise, right? So currently I'm working with 1909. So whenever the initial requirement was gathered, the sales team of my company went to the client, and they pitched in. Like, we'll give you this infra. We'll go with the SAP 1909, the latest that was working in 2020. So they had the latest ERP, they had the latest infra. So infra cost is separate, and then the manpower, how much manpower, how much skill set is there. So there is particular RFPs or RFX, request for X means the it can be replaced in the with the okay. So request for quotations are there, right? Then there is RFX. RFX means all the requests that the client will produce. So in government organization, they will have RFPs. So they will have the basic technical requirements that the manpower should have XYZ level of experience, like 5 years. So my project's level was 7 years. So all these clients will have the basic requirements of infra, cost estimate, timeline, how much time will be taken. So the timeline that was given was 1 year. Okay, 1 or 1.5 year was given. So but the client insisted on like 10 months. But due to the COVID, the timeline got extended. So sometimes this also happens. But yeah, okay, let's get here. So after the initial preparation, this will be done by the manager, right? The manager will be the intermediate body. So he'll take the requirement manager, the project manager. Then there will be a program manager. So program manager is the person who will do the delivery. Delivery means in SAP we have delivery leads. Delivery comes under the program manager. Then under him, your project manager will be there. Under project manager, consultants, the senior consultant, the specialist will be there. So there is a hierarchy in the client. So the project manager and the associate directors or your principal directors or technical leads will have this requirement. Then the blueprints. So blueprints means that you have to sit with the customer, do workshop. I remember the first time that I went, my senior consultant, he was my peer. So he was taking workshops. So workshop was like he was teaching about the valuation classes. So customer will not know, right? Your client will not know when the ERP is implemented at the first time, that what is the valuation class, how a GL is linked with the material, why does material needs a valuation class, right? So in the manual accounting, the accountant, what will do is they will make some finance vouchers, they will have some GL entries, right? They think that with a piece of paper it will work, but SAP is not that. SAP is a complex system that is designed on the standard principle of accounting. So certain workshops are needed to be done, right? How your PP process or how your process is customized, it's going to customize, how it is linked with other modules. So it is a knowledge understanding that is given to the client in the workshops. Then the understanding of the business. So we'll sit with the client, we'll ask what does your business do? Does it have indirect procurement or indirect procurement? So this will help us to identify what is the need. So my client had uh, still does STOs, but they will not require the STO process because of the GL account. So they have a complex accounting that was followed in the 1945 chart of accounts. It's a book of accounts that every government organization follows since 1945. So they have a complex business accounting. So they don't use the standard accounting. They don't have STOs. So we have customized the entire accounting. That took us a while. So it's a complex process. In every scenario, you'll have to think. So like reports. So I'll show you one report. What happens in let's say MB5B, right? So MB5B is a standard report, but MB5B has does not have the specific outlines for my client. So they needed the total quantities. They needed the total value of the open quantity and the total value of the closing quantity. So we customized the standard solution. So we copied the standard report. Then on the copy, we implemented our custom logic and we customized the standard report. So there will be some reports there will be standard objects that it will needed to be customized by us or our technical people. Then there will be as and to be. So as and to be is a very specific document. So as means that how your system looks like right now before, not the system, how your processes before SAP implementation and how your system is going to look after the SAP implementation. So there's a specific format. So every organization like Accenture, LTI, or the Infosys, they have a specific as is or to be document, or they'll have a software, right? In the software, you can document everything. So the development of as is and to be documents for every process is like at max 1 day, right? So let's say you have service, you have materials. Service procurement will have 1 day, material procurement will have 1 day, the contract management will have 1 day, right? All these documents need to be prepared in 1 day or 2 days. So there will be senior technical consultants who will prepare the documents. They'll have strict timelines. So everything in the SAP Accelerate was done based on the strict timelines. So we have to understand the process. What is the client's requirement? Then make as is. Okay, so the manual process, whatever they were doing, so that is needed to be integrated in the system. Then we'll make the 2B, right? So in ECC, what used to be done was we used to have the release strategy, right? Now we have the flexible workflows. So which system you are working on, it is one of the basic fundamentals that you have to remember. Then do all this. Then we have org structures. Okay, so org structure will be like, what is the do they have a reference org? Are they using the standard org? So this is the basic questions you need to ask yourself and ask the client. So the client will tell that we are using the standard purchasing org, and the way we are using the central team. So is the central team responsible for the purchasing? Is there a purchase department? How many departments are there, or are they scattered, right? So central purchasing is recommended by SAP, but the client can have the scattered purchasing also. So currently my client is having having multiple purchase divisions. So it is based on a requirement. Then only we'll prepare the requirements of the client. Okay. Then we have BBP. So BBP means the business blueprint. So BBP sign off. Everything after the client has given. So this is signed off, right? Why sign off is required? So sign off is a technical. BBP sign off is a technical document. In that document, what happens? You will have the business blueprint. How and what configurations you will be doing, right? Everything will be there, and what your system will look like. So if the client has given the requirement, is the requirement fulfilled by the standard SAP solution? If yes, then fine. If no, then how will you bridge the gap? How will the solution gap be bridged? Okay, so let's say you have a custom requirement of the release procedures, or you have the custom requirement for the MIGO workflow or the material master workflow. How will you do that? Do you need another module? Do you need MDG? So these all are the questions that are based on the requirements. So if you cannot implement a new module, if you cannot take the standard functionality, then is there any custom thing that you can do? So we created WD applications, Web Design Pro applications for our tendering process. That is a custom web WebDyn Pro applications are custom. That was used before. I think it was used before 2015. Okay, so it is one of the applications that we have designed for the Fury also. So it works on the Fury and it works on the GUI also. So all these are the things that you would need to remember before you are going in the SAP Activate or SAP ASAP. So these all will be same, but the client interaction will be different in the SAP Activate. So SAP, we are currently doing SAP ASAP, and now we'll go to the relation trace. So relation trace means the standard solutions. So whatever the configurations will be done by us, right? Let's say you have a physical inventory requirement, or you have a ABC analysis requirement, or you have another requirements for the SKUs. So are this getting fulfilled by the standard solutions? Are these in the SAP standard? If they are not, then what we'll do is we'll develop custom objects. So this is RICE FW. So we call it RICE FW, RICE So the full form of these are the custom objects. So we have reports, integrations, conversions, enhancement, the flexible workflows, and the forms. So F means forms, then W means workflows. So all these will be custom objects that are developed by the technical consultants. So conversions will have a how will the IDOC or this ALEs will get converted, and we'll have it in our systems. Then we have interfaces. We have interfaces with the SAP PI, or there is a Bhumi application that works directly with the SAP CPI, the cloud-based interaction platform. Then we have enhancements. So for enhancements, how we'll do this? So enhancements means that, like I said, so you'll copy the standard report, like we copied the ME2N report and ME or MB5B report. Then we customize the entries, or we customize the layout based on the requirements. Then you have workflows. So this workflow will be built by the SAP technical team, SAP ABAP developer. They will have a specific niche called SAP workflows. So in those workflows, what will happen? They will develop with the SAP SWDD. So or SWDB. So they have two T codes by which they develop the workflows. So everything that will be required by custom objects will do it with the technical consultant. Then you have FUT. FUT means functional unit testing. So whatever the developments are there, we'll do the testing in the development system. So development system, as I explained in the landscape, so we'll have the first system as the development system. Then only anything will pass on to the quality. Then it will go to the pre-prod. So we'll do every test in the development, then the quality, then the pre-prod, then the production. Okay, so this is the relation phase. Now we'll go to the next phase, that is our final preparation. So final preparation, you will have test scripts. So what are test scripts? So test scripts are nothing but the scripts or the basic Word document. So what we'll do is we'll give it to the business users. So it will have the layouts. It will not the layout. It will have a proper heading that what are we going to do? Are we going to create the maintenance order? So as you might know that there is an integration with MMNPP, right? The production planning module, or it has has an integration with the QM module. Can we do the inspection, quality control, right? So can we do the inspection or not? So you'll make a test script, then hand it over to the business users. So business users should not be able to deny. Sometimes what happens is business users will give the requirement, and in the end they will say that we have not given this requirement. The system is not up to the standard, right? So what we'll do is we'll give them test scripts. They will check. Then we'll give them UAT documents. So UAT documents have, let's say, I have a returns delivery, right? So last session we took was advanced returns management. So let's say the requirement of our client is for a flexible workflow or the returns delivery. So what will happen is with the client, we'll give them the UAT document. So UAT will have 7 or 8 steps. So those 7 or 8 steps will mean that is the client able to do the entire process without any external help, or are they facing any issues? So we'll give them a test material. So test material will be created by us, okay? And with this we'll hand over to the client the document. What steps are needed to be done. We'll guide them with the T codes, okay? So since in the starting they'll not know the T codes, right? But they'll know what the processes need to be done. So we'll give them the basic test scripts. In those test scripts, we'll attach the screenshots. So after every screenshot, what is needed to be done will have the client do them. So then this UAT is signed off. Okay, UAT document is there. Then the UAT is signed off. 1 second. Then it is signed off. So this is one thing that I missed. Okay. Okay, so then we have the cutover activity. The cutover activity will include a data migrations. So we did the LSMW and LTMC. So LSMW was taken in a special session on last Saturday. You can go through the recording. I've already uploaded in the schedule and the session. So I've already uploaded the recording in the drive. So you can check the LSMW session. With the data migration, what happens is in the cutover activity, you'll get the data migration. So data migration will be like open POs, open contracts. Then you'll have open inventories, right? You'll create the vendor master LTMC. I've given already the session of LTMC. You can check. So the vendor master, customer master, the open POs, open LOIs, open inventory, everything will be done as a part of the data migration. So this is one of the basic things that you will do. And in via LTMC, you can also do open contracts. So open contract will have a LTMC. LTMC, you will have a project for open contracts, right? Like the Excel we did. So you can check that LTMC also. Then we'll have go live and support. So as we told in the last of the SDLC, software development lifecycle, the go live will be there. So go live means that we are going live, we are running live, or we have developed the software. Will after everything, after every check, right? 1 second. Okay, so what I forgot one thing to mention. The data migration is first needed to be done in the development system. Then after the development cutoff, you will take a cutoff of the quality system. After the quality system cutoff, you will go to the live system. All this data migration activity will be done step by step from dev, then QA, then production. So in all three clients, you will have to upload the same data. Then you will go with the go live and support. Okay, so this is one point that I didn't cover. Now it is covered. Then after data is there, we'll go with the hypercare. Right, hypercare means that we have made the system live. So at this point, when the go live is done, the system you will have to develop SOPs, right? Standard operating procedures. So standard operating procedure, I showed you one SOP last time with for the vendor portal, the third party interface. So in that, like that, we will have to make SOPs for every process. There will be SOPs. So I have made around 39 SOPs, and all that SOPs will have some certain process. Every process will be done by the client, right? And in the hypercare, you will fix the bugs. Okay, so bug fixing will be the hypercare. Means that after the go live, you will have hypercare. Hypercare, as this term simply means that you will make the most care of the project in this phase. So you will have bugs, right? SAP bugs will be there. Some reports will not work, right? Fixing issues. So all these will come under the hypercare, and if there are any developments that are pending, right? So that will be done in this phase only. So you will have all these hypercare. Then after hypercare, you will get the support. So first the go live in the production, then the hypercare. This phase will be there for 2 or 3 months. So we got the hypercare after 2.5 months. So in SAP ASAP, you get it early, but it will be of minimum 2 to 3 months. It is there, hypercare. Then hypercare sign off is there. Okay, hypercare sign off. So client will say, okay, we're fine with the work. Then the sign off of hypercare. Then you will have the smoke testing. So smoke testing means the dummy testing for the production connectivity. Let's say you have a third party interface, or you have the POs, right? You are using EDI. So in the output management, I have told you that we can also use the emails, right? We'll use the emails for the vendors. So whenever an order is released, the email will be sent to the vendor via batch job. So what does this mean? So this means that the vendor will get 2-3 emails that we have got this order. So vendor will be ignoring them. Why? Because we just went live. So the vendor will know that we have went live. We will tell the vendor The client will tell the vendor, and uh, those orders are working fine or not, or the vendor is receiving the delivery or not. All this comes under the smoke testing. So this is a dummy testing for the production connectivity. Okay, till there are any doubts? So I'll continue with the SAP Activate if there are no doubts in SAP ASAP. Let me know if there are any doubts. This is just the theory session. Rajkumar, Gururaj, Salim, Abdul. Okay, I guess there are no doubts. Okay, so in SAP Activate, so first we had this comparison, right? So just the name changes there. Planning, initial preparation, relation, then sorry, blueprint, relation, final preparation, support. So we'll have all the same steps are there. Just the name is changed. So we'll continue with our SAP Activate. So SAP Activate will have the SAP best practices. Sorry, SAP best practices will be there. Then the methodology will be there. Then the configuration guide. So this is the basic three pillars. So what are the this is a good question that SAP Activate in an interview it will be asked. If an interviewer wants to reject you, he'll ask this. What are the three pillars of SAP Activate methodology? That is the SAP best practices. SAP best practices means that will have one SAP implementation guide, right? So you'll use this. So this is the guided configuration, what you need to do in the system. Then what are the SAP best practices, what we need to implement in the system. Then SAP methodology. So what are we doing with the SAP, how we are implementing the system. Then SAP Activate. So SAP Activate will have these three principles that will be under the guiding principle. So we have, okay, so this is one link of some company. So they have given quite beautifully here. So what is SAP Activate? So SAP Activate has developed a project implementation method that allows you to introduce SAP complex solution with a standardized roadmap. So what is a roadmap? So I have taken one roadmap for you guys. One second. SAP methodologies. Okay, so under SAP Activate, you have a specific roadmap. So this is the document that was given by SAP in a session in 2023, September 2023. It was a session by SAP. So you have SAP Activate. So SAP Activate, what will do is you will have guided principle. You have business processes that are ready to deliver, ready to run. Ready to run means that with a small fees in SAP Activate. The major difference with SAP Activate is you will have predefined functionalities, right? The client will say that we want to see right now in the first phase, right? You when we are developing the SAP Activate, what will the client say? Discover, right? So when SAP Activate is done, you remember then what happened in the planning phase, initial preparation, right? Prepare phase. What we used to have is that we weren't able to give the client until the relation phase. So this two phases took almost an year. So the client, whatever the requirement was given in the BPP, whatever initial requirement was given in the initial preparation, that was lost. The initial document was there, but the client actually lost interest, right? So they had to wait for 1 year. So right now you're giving some requirements, right? You know right now, but what will happen after a year? Will you know the same requirements? No, right? So this issue was taken up with SAP. So they came up with the agile methodology. They have prepared the SAP Activate. So SAP Activate, the advantage of SAP Activate is you'll have a ready to run. That ready, the business processes are delivered ready to run. Ready to run means they will the company that is implementing. Let's say you are from Infosys. So Infosys is implementing some uh, companies ERP implementation. So in that ERP implementation, what will happen is they will pay, right? Infosys will pay some XYZ amount. So it will be a very small amount compared to the whole implementation. You will have a ready to run testing system. So in that testing system, there will be standard developments. Okay, so whatever the latest, let's say you are giving the client a 2022 system, they will have whatever the functionality will be there, the Fiori applications or the reports or the standard SAP configuration of the PO. So they will have some material master. They will have the pre-guided configurations. They will have the Creel methodology adoption and the accessibility. Then they'll have adoptions, apps for adoptions, right? They will have Fiori applications. Then you can give the demo to the client within 14 days. So it is that simple. So from 1 year to 14 days. So this is the basic. This is one of the basic advantages of the agile model in the SAP Activate than the SAP ASAP. Okay, then comes the dramatic delivery and deliver fast. So you get the ROI. ROI means the whatever solutions you are giving, you'll get the return of investment. That is okay. So you have reduced cost, right? ROI means the return on investment. You'll have the reduced cost. So this is one survey that they conducted with the SAP Activate builds. Okay, so you don't need to remember all this, but this is the basic advantages. Okay, so whatever is in the PPT is sufficient enough. Then you have SAP traditional ERP, how we did the waterfall project model. Then you have development, okay, history first. Then okay, yeah. So from this traditional ERP, this is R3 system, this is S4 HANA system. So how we are doing it? So the business own the solution. You will have the standard and the best practices. Then the agile methodology will be there. You will have repeatable rapid deliveries. Tools will be there, templates will be there, and the ROI. Okay, okay, okay. So this is the SAP practices that are there. So they are focusing more on the customer value, efficiency, and speed. So this is the fit fit to standard instead of the traditional business blueprint. So you'll be easily customizing all these. Now comes the now comes ready to run process in the document. So you'll have a guided document that will already be there. There are SAP Activate methodologies in the system that will already be there. Then you can use all these. So let's say you are a new consultant. So right now you are working in a team. So how will you learn, right? So there will be not a lot of time to learn in an implementation project. So what SAP has done is even with minimal knowledge of the SAP, you can follow the guides of the SAP documentation. Then you can follow. You have the delivery, the scope, fit to standard configuration. All these are given in the SAP upgrade. So these are the milestones. This is the work of the project manager. This is not your work. This is the phase: delivery, preparation, explore, realize, deploy, run. You just need to know what happens when. The qualification, this is the scope of the delivery. This is the scope of the delivery. The customer will buy. You are not included anywhere. On board project team, you come here after the setup. Then you will go in the explore phase. You will sit with the client. You will take the documents. You will make the changes, configure. After configuration, you will tell that we are ready. Then in the realize, you will test, migrate, extend. Then you will deploy. After the readiness, you will run, then upgrade. And then after this, you will have the hypercare, right? You will not come until this prepare phase. Okay, so this is something with the SAP Solutions Manager integration. So this is just your project manager, what he will be doing. So this is one thing that is necessary to know about the SAP Activate. So this is just the SAP parts. I'm not going very deep into this. Okay, so this is one part of the course. Okay, so let's come back. So under SAP Activate, what happens is you have the first experience with the SAP S4 HANA, right? The client has the first experience with SAP S4 HANA. You will have the provision of standardizing environment in the cloud. So you can also use the cloud, or you can also use the on-premise. You will have the added advantage of SAP S4 HANA. So during the discovery phase only, what we'll do is we'll have the client give the requirement, whatever their requirement is. Then just in the prepare phase, what we'll have is we'll give them a sandbox system. So they have written in that in the sandbox system, what we'll do is we'll give them the SAP best practices. SAP best practices means that will be a there will be a proper SAP configuration or the guided configuration. Then in that you can develop the design the best practices and make some initial changes for the user to test. So in the prepare phase, the user engagement will come. However, in the activate until the realize phase, it will not come. Okay, so this is one major. This is the one major advantage here. So the client will be always in touch. So initial planning of the project starts. Then you will finalize the project team. Then for the optimal project progress, you will have to keep everything in motion. Then in the explore phase, what you will do is you will do fit gap analysis. You will sit with the client, tell that what are the requirements, give us more requirements, give us more details, what are the business processes. Everything will be taken by you guys. Then in the explore, after the explore phase, you will do realize, and that this you will have sprints. So sprints means that you will have to integrate, migrate, and extend. So there will be excels, right? So there will be one second, let me show you. I guess I have. So there are activities, right? So this is my client. So we have some activities. I think there is one sheet. Okay, there will be some tools. I'm not sure where is that. Okay, no, it is not here. So there are tools, right? So this is one tool, Jira. So this is Alistan Jira. So Jira is project management tool. So you will have the IT operations. So what will you will have the task. So here you will define the major task. What are the tasks? What are the pending tasks? On whose or which functional consultant which task is pending. So all these will be taken care by your manager. So you will have the sprints. So sprints will be like we are currently working in the normal pace, but in sprint. So you'll have a sprint of, like, let's say 15 days. So for those 15 days, you will work extensively. Okay, so this happens. So I used to work for 18 hours. So you might guess at what time I used to sleep. I don't know when. So my on time, the screen time that I had on my laptop was 18 hours, sometimes 15, sometimes 14, sometimes 16. So for like 3 or 4 months, I used to do sprints. Okay, even when there was no sprint, I used to do it by myself, just for the acceleration of the task. So that is why module in my current project is very smooth, and my handover is going to be smooth. Okay, so this will help you in developing the best practices and making the system smooth. So there's a thing called fine tuning the system that will be done in the last phase. So whatever the practices are there, you will have to implement them in the explore phase. So once the data is migrated, adjustments are made, and then the system is given for the operations. Okay, for the operations purposes. Then the acceptance will be coming from the client. So when you deploy in the production system, so you'll get a sign off that we have given the data. Now you're good to go. So the client will start with this cutover. So after the cutover, we'll get the sign off. Then on the run, so operations and support monitoring. So under run, whatever we said in the ASAP, it is same. So in the run, what comes is we'll have the specific information of the. So sorry, in the run phase, the client will do their own process. Whatever the specific information they have, they'll put in the system. They'll do the PO, PR, all these process. P2P cycle will be there. The specials be done by the client, and the system, whatever we can automate or whatever process can be optimized, we'll optimize that. And the client's requirement will be taken. Okay, so additional projects to improve the system, we are postponing to take. Okay, okay. Oh, nothing here. So these are the three pillars. So let's get back to this once. So you have guided SAP best practices, right? So SAP best practices will give some industry experience. So industry experience means they have developed the best practices. So since last 45 years of SAP being the industry leader, they have developed some SAP best practices that are available. These are the best practices. So there's a thing called best practice explorer. Okay, so you can, I'll just go search the best practice explorer. We can go here. So this is one best practice explorer documentation. So what you can do is you can click here, start getting started. Then you'll have different modules. So in each module, what you'll do is you will. So this is for this, an S user ID is required, I guess. Okay, no. So okay, No, 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 no. So you'll have some videos, some tutorials here. Then there are different best practices. Okay, one second. So this is rapid.sap.com, right? Let's close this. Not sure why this is not working. Let's go back. Okay. So I already have logged in. So this is process navigator. So this is SAP for me. So for this, you will use SAP S user ID. So this is my S user ID. In every project, you will get S user ID. So don't worry about it. So you will get the KVAs. So this is the SAP project navigator. So for my current project, it will show the SAP best practices. So I'm not sure why it is not loading, but yeah. So it will load. It will take some time. So you can go via here, SAP best practice navigator. So you will have the standard best practices that are there. You'll follow the process. You will have the roles. So in the uh, in the Fury or in the S4 HANA roles and authorizations that I took. So in that session, we had the responsibilities, the test scripts. I showed you how the roles and responsibilities were divided. So there will be one thing that you will need to have. So these are the solution processes that will be there. So this is called SAP Signavio. Signavio means the SAP Rapid only. So this is the rapid.sap.com when it got rebranded into SAP Signavio. So SAP S2P. So the name is sourcing to procurement. S2P will be there right now. So you can check with the, okay. So when you search here, you will have Ariba sourcing, you will have normal P2P sourcing, central procurement, everything will be there. You can just check on your own. So how do you need to do it? Then you will have the versions 2022 or the 2021. How will you be doing, right? So all these central procurement, I think it's for Ariba only right now. So you will have all these versions, right? So 2402 came recently. I think 2-3 months ago it came. So you can use all these scenario versions. You will have the country. You can select your own country. So for in country like India, right, I will have a different version. Right, if I select this, only my related versions will come. So this is how you check the SAP best practice explorer. So you can check by your own. I'm not going in a lot of detail, but the solutions that are there is this. So you have scenario based solutions also, then you have scenario process. So I've currently given the process solutions, so that is why it is coming. Then there are other things also to explore. I'm not going into much detail. Then you have guided configurations. Okay, so you have standard pre configuration solutions to avoid complex configuration during the project management. So you can check this once. You can read it on your own. I will also mention all these. So you have the guided configurations. So guided configurations means there are tools to accelerate the SAP business process. Then you have the SAP activate method. So you have the choice to use the specific solution roadmap. So I'll show you the roadmap once. Just give me a minute. So I have explained all these phases: first phase, second phase, third phase, how we'll do, then realize. Then you have what are the benefits: faster implementation, easier, secure, permanent, greater ability to innovate, independent, and I will give you the same in the PPT. So I was not able to prepare the whole PPT. So I got this link. It is exactly what I wanted to tell you guys. Then, okay, so then we have three pillars, right? So what are the three pillars? We have already seen how we will go with our solution. These are the SAP best practices, documentation, how we will go. So this is the process navigator that I just show you guys. So I'll give you this link also in the session PPT. So we have, one second. Okay. Okay. So for the accelerator, we have these contents, right? So how we when we log in, what are the best practices? Without login, what will happen? And with login, what will happen? So these are how you see, right? With best practices, we'll go with the client, how we'll do this. So this is SAP learning. This is one thing that you can get from SAP for free. Okay. I think, yeah. So this is one. part of the SAP activity implementation. In 6 phase, what we do, we'll do the discovery assessment, we'll do the project setup, enablement, then we'll do the fit to standard workshops, then configurations, build extensions, setup integrations, migrate data, testing iterations, onboard users, then innovate and operate. So these all are the parts that are there. 6 parts are there that I already explained. Yeah. Okay. So this is just this much. Nothing special. Already explained this. One second. Short overview. No. Same, I guess. Same. Same. Okay. So there is one last thing that I wanted to show you guys. So this is one SAP transition that I got, the roadmaps of SAP. So this is the SAP deliverables. So when you click on the roadmap, so I showed you the roadmap, but I never showed you the link. So this is the SAP roadmap viewer. So you can also take the offline PDF. So these are the deliverables in the project phase of timeline. So nobody will show you this, right? How will transition to the new SAP implementation. So this is the presentation or the slide that was given by the SAP. So they have easily explained how we'll go in the discover phase, what are the activities we need to do, what are the project management activities, the solution adoption, the data management extensibility, and what are the phases. How will we do? How will the team get allocated? Right? Team element is the basic need. Without team, you cannot do anything. The prototyping, the testing, the analytical integration design, everything is needed to be just perfect. So uh, you can work with the solution, right? So in the demo, what they gave was, so let's say in the demo, in the discover phase, you have strategic planning. So what comes in the strategic planning? You have to create innovation strategy for a high level roadmap. So you will be doing, right? You will have to have the view of the security also. You cannot leave the security behind. SAP security is also one of the important modules. Then you have extensibility. You should have to build the solutions that are extensible and based on the requirements of the client. Then I got this from the same. So this was the 2022. I think, one second. Okay, so this is the roadmap, right? One second. Best practices, activities that we just saw. The photo is much clearer here. So this is the original PDF that SAP uh, website has. So what are the phases? So you can go to this once. You can check with me. So this is the basic brief that what your manager will do, what other technical teams will do. So this is UI UX in the explorer phase. This is the technical design. Okay, application design is one of the mandatory things. The gap validation, this will be done by the functional team. Then the test planning, the data management functional team. Then the sizing, IT infra that I already told, technical design. Everything will be done by the teams, but you need to know which team will do what. Then the Fury Launchpad with the solution manager roadmap. So roadmaps are very important in any projects. So how will you adjust to a roadmap for S4HANA? You also have a link here, right? So I think this will be a little complex for you guys right now, but as soon as you get into the SAP S4HANA, only discover, prepare, explore, realize, deploy, run. This you will get by heart. Then all the activities will be done by you or your seniors. So this is just the standard activities. So okay, I think that is done. This is the last transition, I guess, last transition of the SAP roadmap. So in the roadmap, how will you do this is just the overview. So build to execution, data migration, all these objects are given in the phases. So this is just the 2021 Q4 changes, survey changes, how they rebuilt, and this is transition to 22 Q2. So this was the Q2 presentation in the SAP public that I got from SAP. So how will you do it? How will you be doing this? So this is just a document, SAP standard. You don't need to go through this, but if you have time and if you want to read more about SAP, then this is the best document you'll ever get about the SAP Signavio solutions. Okay, I think that is it for today. I'll give you all this methodology. I'll update So these are the SAP transformations you will get. All these lessons will be there. Then you will get the SAP certifications, right? Discovering SAP activate implementation tools and methodology. So this is a free certification that you can do, intermediate and advanced. So you can start learning. This is free for SAP learnings, learning.sap.com. Okay. You can learn for free, but you have to pay for certification. So these are just the steps. You can ask any doubts if you have. Salim, Abdul, Gururaj. I'll stop the recording. You can ask your doubts.